Fight of the night was Kai Kara France and Royval, and then the performance of the nights went to Blehovich and Adesanya. Those guys all won $50,000, so congratulations to them.
I was going to ask you about Adesanya. Clearly a performance of the night. Worthy, man. What did you think about him in there tonight?
Well, so much for fight of the year, but domination of the year. I mean, it was weird because, I mean, if you look at every other fight that Costa has had, he comes out and goes after people like they owe money, and I think he landed one jab in this fight. Didn't try to clinch in the fence, didn't try to put pressure, kept going back to the center of the octagon. It was very weird.
Yeah, it was a weird. I mean, do you think he was in his head? I mean, was it just the antics that slowed everything down? What happened?
You're gonna have to ask him that question. I have no idea. But no matter what it was, Adesanya put on a clinic. I mean, the first 3 calf kicks busted up his leg. Then he hit him right on the side of the knee, had a huge welt on the side of the knee, then the shin to the eye, and just absolutely dismantled him and easily won the fight.
Yeah. He said he likes the idea of Jared Cannonier next if he wins. Does that sound like a good fight to you?
Yeah, I mean, that's the fight if Cannonier wins. And I love that about Israel. He's ready for who's next. Who else thinks they can beat me? It's just, the kid is an absolute stud. Tonight, congratulations to him and Costa. They broke a bunch of records tonight, man. It's unbelievable. Their stare down, when we went live, their stare down was the biggest stare down ever, most viewed ever in UFC history. It beat Khabib and Conor by 1.5 million when the show started. I don't know what it's at now.
That's crazy. He was chatting you up afterwards. Was that really just about weight cutting the whole time? Was that?
Yeah, 2 of his guys, so yeah, he was all fired up about that. Listen, he's not wrong. But that's not our place. That's the commission that handles that. But he's not wrong. Take 80 or 90% of anybody's money, they're going to show up. They're going to show up the right way.
You got a new light heavyweight champion as well. What did you think about Jan Blehovich's performance tonight?
He looked awesome, man. He looked unbelievable. It was like he had a laser on that kick to the body, man. That thing kept landing right in the same place and was ripping Reyes apart. And I believe that was a huge factor in the fight.
Question. Immediately he calls out John Jones, basically. Can you tell us what is going on with John? Would he come back down as heavyweight? What's up with him?
Listen, you guys know as much as I know about John Jones. But yeah, I like that he wants to fight John. Yeah. He could have called out whoever the next contender is and whatever. The fact that, these guys respect Jones enough, and the fact that, they want to be the guy who beats the guy, I love it.
Yeah. Got to ask you about Diego Sanchez. He told us coming into this fight that he's got 4 fights left on his deal. He wants to fight out that contract. I know you got a ton of respect for Diego Sanchez and everything he's done. Are you comfortable with him fighting out 4 fights?
I love Diego Sanchez. And I don't know. It's something I got to think about, and it's obviously something that I got to talk to the guys about back when we get home in the office and see what everybody thinks. I want to do what's, I got these guys now. You got Diego Sanchez, who fights his heart out every time he fights. He was part of Tough One. Everybody knows how I feel about those guys. And he's just a great person. Then you got Cowboy, who you can say all the same things about. And, as these guys start to get older and start racking up some losses, it's tough to, But Diego's like, I want to say, I don't know for sure off the top of my head, but he's like 3 out of his last 5 or something like that. But, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's the not fun part of this job.
For sure. A couple quick ones outside tonight. Conor McGregor made waves over the last 24 hours or so, talking about this. Well, first of all, sharing direct messages from you. Did that upset you that he kind of shared private conversations?
Listen, I've had people blowing me up left and right. Everybody here knows. Even the ladies, this is some man code stuff. It's just something you don't do. It's one of the dirtiest things you can do. Which, by the way, because we're just talking about Diego Sanchez, and Diego Sanchez is in there in a private conversation that I was having with Conor. When you're the number 2 or 3 ranked guy in the world, and you're telling me that you want to fight, but you want to fight unranked 39-year-old Diego Sanchez in a main event in Los Angeles, you know.
Yeah, fair enough. How valid is this Pacquiao thing, though? Can you comment on that? I mean, is this a real thing that could happen?
I have no idea.
No idea?
Yeah. Listen, you guys have been asking me about Conor McGregor forever. Did you see Conor McGregor's tweet?
Which one? Well, I think
the retirement tweet?
Oh, yes.
I'm retired.
Yep.
Birthday cake. I'm retired.
Fair enough. Last one for me. There was a report that came out tonight. Khamzat Chimaev, obviously everybody's excited about Khamzat, that said either Wonder Boy or Leon Edwards for December 19th. Can you give us any information on?
Where'd that come from?
Brazilian outlet, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that all the time. The Leon Edwards is not true, but we've offered it to Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy wants to fight Leon Edwards, so. We'll see how this plays out. That's completely not true. Leon Edwards is not lined up to fight Khamzat. We were looking at Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy wants Leon. So we're nowhere on that thing. For anybody to report it, it's total fucking bullshit and typical MMA fucking silliness.
Dana, when you see Paulo Costa in the first round taunting and doing all this goofy stuff, like, that's all well and good to entertain people, but he's not winning the round. Do you sit there and get frustrated at a guy who's letting his opponent start to get a lead on him? Yeah, it doesn't frustrate me. It's just,
I mean, you guys know enough about the sport that if he fought the way he fights, look at the way he went after Yoel Romero, one of the most dangerous guys ever. And then he stays away. He stays on the outside, taking damage to that front leg. Then he gets, when he does rush in and get him up against the cage, he backs out to the center of the cage again. Just never tried to get in the clinch. I think he only landed a jab. Didn't really throw any punches at all, only threw kicks. It was very weird. I just sat there going, holy shit. And then obviously, Adesanya just went to work, picked them apart, piece by piece, made it look really easy.
You mentioned the records this fight set in terms of numbers leading up to it. Obviously, the fight itself was super anticipated. You'd promoted it as one of the greatest fights of the year, potentially. But is this also Fight Island playing a part again? Is it just something about this brand of Fight Island that just builds people's excitement?
Listen, the UFC is on fire right now. I mean, the records we broke tonight, we had tons of records on social media. Social media records were off the charts, and all the numbers that are coming in are massive. And every time we're doing fights now, they're big. I mean, if you look at our social media in the last year, UFC social media has gained 8 million followers in the last year, 2.5 million since Florida. Mine has gained 1 million since Florida. The whole sport is, it's on fire right now. Our numbers keep going up, our ratings keep going up, and it's all good.
Is part of that because it's not just like America that's had nothing to do for the past few months, it's the whole world's been shut down. So are you getting followers from all over the world, or is it just America it's building up in?
Yeah, I think it's because, I didn't listen to any of the fucking bullshit from the media, and I went, and I think people liked it, and people that never watched the sport before got into it and started to watch, and the growth has been phenomenal. I think that's a big part of it. It's not a coincidence that all these numbers have gone up since Florida.
How big do you anticipate Khabib Gaethje going to be then?
How big does what?
How big is Khabib Gaethje going to be?
Yeah, so the question is now, does Khabib Gaethje break the records that we broke tonight?
Wow. Last one from me. Earlier today, Nate Diaz put out a promotional video of himself and Masvidal, obviously saying round 4, wanting the rematch with Masvidal. Have you got any progress on that fight?
No.
Is it possible that you guys are looking at Masvidal versus Colby instead?
Yeah.
Is that because...
It's very possible.
Is that just because negotiations with Nate didn't go anywhere?
No. I don't even know if we talked to Nate yet. But yeah, after the Colby fight, I mean, how do you not make that fight? That's a fight that makes sense.
If
The Nate Diaz rematch is going to be there no matter what happens.
And actually, just one more thing. Have you heard anywhere further with Nick Diaz?
No.
Okay.
I told you guys this last time. Go ahead, Shmo.
All right, I want to talk about Brandon Royval. This guy's had 2 UFC fights, and it looks like he's going to be fighting a top 5 opponent. Huge fast track, and maybe he's 1 fight away, 2 fights away from a title fight. Just thoughts on this guy?
Yeah. Fight of the night winner. Awesome fight. Awesome finish. And he's an exciting kid. Yeah, I love it.
I want to talk about what's next for Jan Blehovich. Is it for sure the winner of Thiago Santos and Glover Teixeira, if that fight is still going to happen, would get Jan Blehovich? Or if John Jones puts his name in the hat, would he get that opportunity over them?
Yeah, those are the guys that are fighting for the next shot. But obviously, if John Jones wanted that fight, we wouldn't deny John Jones the opportunity.
Khabib was in attendance tonight. He was cornering his teammate. Was wondering what conversation, if any, you had with Khabib. So
I didn't see him tonight. Yeah, I didn't see him.
And lastly, I want to talk about Leon Edwards. We brought him up earlier. Do you think he's going to get booked for a fight in 2020? Is he turning down fights? What's his status?
No, we're ready to book him. Hopefully he'll fight this year. Hopefully. If not, he'll fight the beginning of next year, the very beginning of January or something.
Any issues with visas coming to the United States, or would it be here in Fight Island?
Yeah, it would be anybody who's coming from out of the country that isn't easy to get into the States would fight here.
Thank you.
Hi, Dana.
Thank you.
Right here. I know there was a lot of expectations for this fight, this match, Paulo Costa versus Adesanya. Are you a little disappointed? Are you disappointed for what you saw today?
Listen, when you break down a fight and you think about how the fight's going to go, that shouldn't have been the fight that happened tonight. It should have been a much tougher fight. But you can't be disappointed when you have somebody that's as talented as Adesanya is, and he comes out and imposes his will and literally dismantles a guy as good and as tough as Costa. You know, you don't look at the fight and go, oh, I guess Costa wasn't this or that. No, Costa is. Costa is that good, and he's a savage, and normally, but Adesanya shut him down tonight and absolutely put on a clinic and destroyed him. You know, you can't be upset about that. I mean, if those guys went in there and did nothing for 5 rounds, I'd be disappointed. But when a guy continues to gain more confidence every time he gets in there and just looks better and better and better and beats a guy that's that good the way that he beat him tonight, you can't be disappointed about that.
And what about Paulo? What's next for him?
I don't know, man. I'm sure he's devastated right now, and, you know, I don't know. You'll have to ask him that question when he comes in.
I will. Last one for me. Sarah McMahon was going to fight here on Fight Island. Second fight that, you know, an opponent gets injured. The first one was Aspen and now Raquel. Where do you see Sarah right now? I'm sure she's ready and waiting for a fight.
Wait, are you saying that 2 of her opponents have fallen out?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. Love Sarah, and hopefully we can get her something else and get her a fight. I'm sure we can.
Thank you.
Okay, hello, sir. Here. So Poland has a new UFC champion. When you add Joanna to him and a couple of other Polish fighters, you get a pretty good fight card to put in an event in Poland. Of course, we have a like crazy times right now, but if there will be a possibility in 2021, it will be one of your priorities to make an event in Poland.
Yeah, well, obviously you're as hopeful as I am for 21. I keep saying I can't wait for 20 to be over and wait for 21. I don't know what I'm expecting, but yeah, hopefully the world gets normal again and we can go everywhere, including Poland.
Okay, so last week you made an interview for Polsat Sport, and you said that Joanna may fight another opponent than the rematch with Weili Zhang. And I heard that when she was informed about it yesterday, she was surprised, and she said that she will call you. And she did it or not? She didn't call you.
No, she hasn't called me.
Okay, so but it's like confirmed information that she will need to fight one more fight before a potential rematch with Weili or fight with Rose?
Yeah, she would definitely have to have another fight. Rose is going to get the next fight against Weili, and then we'd get Joanna another fight.
Okay, and last one for me. UFC signed a new Polish fighter, undefeated, to double KSW champion Mateusz Gamrot, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Jan Blachowicz said that they both believe that he is the next UFC champion from Poland. Do you heard about him, and do you have any thoughts about this guy?
What's the question?
UFC signed a new Polish athlete that both Joanna and Jan have talked about briefly. Do you know anything about this new
Oh,
signing?
the kid. Yeah, that.
17 and 0.
Yeah. No, we're excited about him. We're excited to get him in here and see what he can do. Yeah, very excited.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hassan Abdurrahman, Roya newspaper, here from UAE. First of all, I would like to congratulate you on all the success. I have been covering your 242, and then 249, and then 253. All these championships, I have been following them, and very happy to see UFC is here. Now I'd like to ask you, after 1 year of relationship with DCT Abu Dhabi, how do you evaluate this relationship up to date? This is September, actually started with them in last September 2019. How do you evaluate this relationship with them, and to what extent you are happy about everything?
Yeah, I've had a relationship with Abu Dhabi. I've had a relationship here for over a decade, and it's always been incredible. Obviously, with what's going on right now, the way that these guys have pulled together and worked with us to pull off Fight Island 1 and 2, I really can't put into words for you how incredible it is and what's been done here. The service has been phenomenal. The venue, just everything from the flight here till we get back on the flight and go home. You don't get service like this anywhere in the world. We're at the W Hotel here in Abu Dhabi. You don't get better service at the Four Seasons. You don't get better service at name the hotel. This place will kick its ass. It's not even close. And you ask any of my staff how they feel, and I'm sure much of the media too. If you look at what's going on in the world right now, what we're doing here in Abu Dhabi, there's nothing like it.
And the second question is, how do you evaluate performance of the Arab fighters up to date? Now we are trying to help UFC to promote the idea for the Arab new talents. Yeah, Arab fighters, Arab players.
Yeah, okay. So once once you're in a market long enough like this here in Abu Dhabi or wherever it is, not only does the fan base start to grow, but so does the talent, and we're seeing that. Watch what happens here over the next 5 or 6 years. There will be serious talent coming out of this region.
This is all for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Do you think Adesanya can be the new Anderson Silva of the division?
I think he's going to be the new Adesanya of the division. He's got his own style and his own way about him. I think he's going to be the next big superstar here, especially after tonight's performance.